Real Convenience provides you with an opportunity to study at any place or from any place, at any time, at any pace, and from any device. And this is what Telecom Academy provides. So enjoy Real Convenience. And if you are new to Real Convenience, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button. You may also like, share, or even comment. Welcome to Telecom Academy. And we are in this video looking at operational amplifier circuits. We'll be looking at various operational amplifier circuits. Let us enjoy. Welcome to Real Convenience with Motion Marufo, and in this video we are looking at operational amplifier circuits. And what does that entail? It entails the start of the following types of operational amplifiers: voltage follower, also known as the buffer amplifier, inverting amplifier, non-inverting amplifier, summation or summing amplifier, difference amplifier, comparator, to mention but just a few. As usual, if you want to get in touch with me, use the following email address: motionmarufo60@gmail.com. If you also like, you may use the WhatsApp number +263 717 535 866. Otherwise, let us enjoy operational amplifier circuits. Let us proceed. If you are new and you are enjoying Telecom Academy, and also if you haven't subscribed, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button. The first operational amplifier circuit that we are going to look at is called a voltage follower. And what are we saying? We are saying the output voltage follows the input voltage, hence the same voltage follower. And this is the circuit. You must be able to draw it. And we are saying, instead of having a feedback resistor RF, we are taking all our output voltage and we are feeding it to the input voltage. Hence V out is equal to V in. And please take note that our input in this case is actually non-inverting input. So this is a non-inverting amplifier. And this circuit is also known as a unit gain amplifier because V out divided by V in gives us 0. It is also known as a buffer amplifier or an isolation amplifier. And please take note that the input voltage V in is applied directly to the non-inverting input of the operational amplifier, which is this. And we are saying the input and output voltages are in phase. As you can see, the input and output are in phase. Also notice that the output signal is connected directly to the non-inverting input. There is no feedback resistor. The output signal is connected directly to the inverting input terminal. And we are saying, because V is equals to 0, as we saw in the virtual ground or virtual A concept, it means that the output is equal to the input. So we are saying closed loop gain is equal to 1. V out divided by V in is equal to 1. Also, please take note that you can deduce this from this equation. This is the equation for finding the gain of a non-inverting operational amplifier. That is 1 plus RF divided by R in. But our RF is equal to 0. So this is 1 plus 0 and it is going to give us a closed loop gain of 1. Please take note, this is a voltage follower operational amplifier. This operational amplifier is connected as an inverting amplifier, and we are looking at op-amp circuits. And we are saying, please take note, you must be able to draw and also to calculate gain. And please take note that our input is connected to the inverting input, and the non-inverting input is grounded. We are going to take part of the output and feed it back to the input. But we know that an op-amp has got a very high input impedance. In other words, no current goes through these two inputs. So it means that our I is going to flow in this direction up to the output. Please take note that. And this is our input resistor R1, and this is our output voltage. And please take note of the following property: the output of an inverting amplifier is inverted. That is, the input and output are out of phase. The inverted output signal means that they have got a phase shift of 180 degrees. You remember common emitter and also a common source. Let's calculate the current through R1 R1. This is input voltage Vin divided by R1. And we are saying because negligible current flows into the non-inverting input terminal, all of the current produced by Vin must flow through the feedback resistor Rf. Therefore, the voltage across the feedback resistor Rf is I times the feedback resistor value Rf, where I is the input current I. And we are saying because the inverting input is at visual ground, the output voltage must equal the voltage across the feedback resistor Rf, because this is at visual ground. So it means this will be our output voltage. So V out is equal to the current through the feedback resistor I multiplied by the feedback resistor Rf. And how are we going to calculate gain? And please take note that this is now closed loop gain and not open loop gain. I said the symbol for gain is capital letter A. How do we calculate? This is V out divided by V in. And our V out is minus I times feedback resistor Rf divided by V in, which is equal to I times R1. And these two I's are going to cancel. And please take note, this is very, very important. You must be able to calculate the gain of any inverting amplifier. And this is calculated from minus the feedback resistor divided by the input resistor, in this case Rf divided by R1. Guys, take note of this, it is important. This is a non-inverting amplifier. Please take note of the two types of inputs of an op-amp. They are called inverting and non-inverting. So this is called non-inverting. Why? Because our input signal Vin is applied to the non-inverting input. And this inverting input is connected to ground through R1. And please take note of the following analysis. We said the V2 must be equal to V1, or the voltages at the two input terminals are equal. This means that the voltage at the non-inverting input is Vin, but we know that this is the feedback voltage across the resistor Rf. And how is it calculated? This voltage V out is equal to Vf plus this voltage, and we are saying this voltage there is R1, which is this voltage times V out divided by R1 plus Rf, because these two are in series. And this is our Vf, which is the voltage at this point. So we are saying because these two voltages are ideally equal, we are going to say Vin is equal to Vf. Please take note of the analysis which I've just made. And we are saying because Vin is equal to Vf, alright, how do we calculate the closed loop gain? This is simply V out divided by Vin, and we said Vin is equal to Vf, so this is the same as V out divided by Vin, but we are going to replace Vf by this formula. So our output, it means that our closed loop gain is going to be 1 plus Rf divided by R1. Please take note of this formula. If you are given Rf and R1, you must be able to find the closed loop gain, which is gain with feedback, and it is equal to this for a non-inverting amplifier. I hope I have made myself clear, and please take note of this analysis. It is very, very important. As I said, the two input voltage, the voltages at the two input terminals of an operational amplifier are the same. I hope you are enjoying, and if you are doing so, hit the subscribe button. This is the diagram of an operational amplifier connected as a summing amplifier or summation amplifier. It has got three inputs, V1, V2, and V1, V2, and V3, and it has got three input resistors, R1, R2, and R3, and they've got the same values. It has got a feedback resistor, Rf is equal to 1 kilo ohm, and this is our output. All these are applied to the inverting input terminal, and the non-inverting terminal is grounded. This is the symbol for the ground or earth, and we are saying the summing amplifier is an op-amp circuit that provides an output that is proportional to the sum of its inputs. So the output V out is proportional to the sum of V1, V2, and V3, and we are going to consider each input as an individual circuit. And let us proceed to the analysis. The three resistors R1, R2 and R3 are connected to the non-inverting input, and that point is at virtual ground or virtual earth, and this leads us to conclude that the input currents can be calculated from I1. Because we've got a ground, we can say I1 is equal to V1 divided by R1, I2 is equal to V2 divided by R2, and I3 is equal to V3 divided by R3. Please take note of the effect of virtual ground or virtual circuit. But we know that the output voltage is the voltage across the feedback resistor, and it is given by, we are going to, because the output currents I1, I2 and I3 do not enter the inverting input. All of them are going to pass through the feedback resistor RF. So we are going to multiply the feedback resistor RF multiplied by the sum of the currents. And please take note, why is it that we've got a minus sign? Because we are feeding our input signal to the inverting input. So it means output will be out of phase with the input. And we are saying if R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3, this means and is equal to R. This means that all these resistors have the same value as the feedback resistor, which means if we take them outside the brackets, we'll be dividing RF by RF, meaning that our output voltage will be equal minus the sum of the input voltages. Please take note of the earlier statement from the introduction to the summation amplifier, also known as the summing amplifier. Thus, we can safely say output voltage is proportional to the algebraic sum of the input voltages, neglecting the negative sign. This is an application of the summing amplifier. It can be used as a mixer. Please, you know the mixer, and also as a digital to analog converter. Take note of this formula. When R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3, and this is called feedback resistor, output voltage V out is equal to the negative sum of the input voltages as shown. The other operational amplifier circuit that we are going to look at is called the difference amplifier. So when an operational amplifier is connected in this way, it is called a difference amplifier. And how does it operate, or how do we define it? This is an op-amp circuit in which the output voltage is equal to the difference between the two input voltages. V in 1 and V in 2 are the two input voltages. So how to calculate V out? Please take note that you subtract the voltage at the non-inverting input minus the voltage at the inverting input, V in 2 minus V in 1. You are given this example, so to get the output voltage, you subtract this voltage from this voltage according to this equation. And we are saying all resistors are of the same value, and the output voltage is equal to the difference between the two input voltages. Guys, this is easy stuff. Take note of the formula and you are done. You must also be able to identify the circuit of a difference amplifier for you to choose the correct formula so that you can calculate the output voltage. Otherwise, if you are not able to recognize a difference amplifier, then you won't be able to calculate the output voltage. Please take note that we have got two input voltages at the two input terminals of the op-amp. Operational amplifier comparator. We are going to analyze an op-amp comparator in detail in this presentation, and we are saying here and there we want to compare one voltage to another to see which one is larger, and in this situation we can use a comparator. A comparator is simply an operational amplifier without negative feedback. Please take note, and it takes advantage of a high open loop gain of the op-amp, and this is the open loop gain, and as you can see it is very high. Just like a comparator has two input voltages, non-inverting as well as inverting, and it has got one output voltage. And because of the high open loop gain, it means that a very small difference voltage between its two input terminals will drive it into saturation, that is into the maximum output positive voltage or negative voltage. For example, we have got an operational amplifier with a difference voltage of 25 millivolts and an open loop gain of 100,000. This will give give us 25 volts, and this is a high output voltage, because we know that most operational amplifiers have output voltages that are less than plus or minus 15 volts or plus or minus 18 volts because of their DC supply voltages. So what are we saying? We are simply saying a very high small differential input voltage will drive our operational amplifier into saturation, and we are going to see why this is a key point in the operation of op-amp comparator. Let us go. Hit the subscribe button if you are interested. More on op-amp comparator. We are saying it is a relatively simple circuit that is used to compare two voltages, and it provides an output that indicates the relationship between the two compared voltages. Generally, they are used to compare either, number one, two changing voltages to each other, for example, two sine waves. Number two, they are used to compare either a changing voltage set to a DC reference voltage. So it produces an output when the changing voltage is greater or less than the DC reference voltage. Then typical application of op-amp comparators is they are used in digital application. More on op-amp comparator. This time we've got a digital signal, and we are saying this is the low value of the DC signal, and this is the high value of the DC signal, and this is the transition phase of the DC signal from low to high, and this is also the transition phase from high to low. And we are saying the waveform consists of high and low DC voltage levels and transitions between them. And we are saying digital systems respond to alternating DC levels. As shown, this is an alternating DC level since it is changing values from low DC to high DC level, and we call it a rectangular wave or a square wave. The application of a comparator or the operation of a comparator is a non-inverting amplifier that is operating as a comparator. Why am I saying non-inverting? Because the input is connected to the non-inverting input, and the inverting input is grounded, and we are saying our input signal is a sinusoidal signal, and we are saying the output voltage V out goes high when the input is high, and when the input goes negative, it also produces a high output, which is a maximum V max. So we are saying in response to this input signal, the comparator produces a square wave signal as shown. The same applies to this comparator. It is producing a signal, and please take note that we've got a VREF there. We've got a VREF there, and this VREF is going to define the amplitude as well as the duration of the pulse. And we are saying when the input is now equal to VREF, or when V in becomes equal to VREF, we are going to produce a very narrow pulse. But when the input is less than VREF, we are going to produce a maximum negative value of a higher duration. So it means that this is going to be our output of positive narrow pulse and negative wide pulse. Please take note of the effect of the reference voltage. On this one, there is no reference voltage, hence the positive and negative are of the same amplitude and duration, hence plus Vmax and minus Vmax. From the previous slide, R1 and R2 are supplying the inverting input with a reference voltage VREF. That is, VREF is connected to the inverting input, and it is the voltage across R2. So how do you find the voltage across R2? That's R2 times plus V divided by R1 plus R2. And we are saying whenever the AC input is higher than the reference voltage, the output is positive, and the opposite is true. It is important to emphasize the following important point insofar as comparator is concerned. When the input is applied to the non-inverting input, when the input voltage is applied to the non-inverting input, this is called a non-inverting comparator, and the opposite is true. So for a non-inverting comparator, the inverting input is grounded. In this case, it is at 0 volts, and in B, the inverting input is at the voltage that is equal to R2. So it's R2 times VCC divided by R1 plus R2, and this is a decoupling capacitor. But our input all the same it is applied to the non-inverting input. So guys, don't worry where you put the non-inverting input, whether it is on top or it is below. It does not matter. What matters is the naming only. Then this is a positive VCC and a negative VEE, and this is our output voltage. So we are saying the input voltage is applied to the non-inverting input. This is our V in, and the reference is applied to the inverting input, which is this. And we are saying if V in is greater than Vref, which means if this voltage is greater than this, the output is a positive. A positive output simply means that it is equal to VSAT or VCC. And when this voltage is less than this, the output is negative. That is, it is almost equal to negative VSAT or negative VCC. Please take note that, as I said, Vref can be grounded or it can be at a certain voltage, as shown in this figure. Inverting comparator, and let's have a look at our operational amplifier. When the input voltage V in is connected to the inverting input, then the name of this comparator is inverting comparator, and in that case the non-inverting input is grounded. In this case, please take note that the non-inverting input can be at any other voltage other than the zero reference voltage, and we are saying in this case it is equal to 0 volts. That is, it is grounded. This is the way how the comparator operates. We are saying the input is applied to the inverting input and the reference voltage is connected to the non-inverting input. In this case, it is a 0 reference value, and we are saying when the reference input is grounded, it is at 0 reference voltage. Otherwise, a voltage other than 0 can be connected to the non-inverting input. And we are saying when this input is less than the reference voltage, the output is a positive. Why? Because the voltage at the inverting input is less than that at the non-inverting input. And when the input is greater, when V in is greater than Vref, then the output is negative. The voltage at the non-inverting input is the reference voltage, as alluded to earlier. So please take note of the operation of the inverting comparator as well as the non-inverting comparator. It is impossible for you to visit Telecom Academy, watch one of our videos and not learn something new. So thank you for studying from any place, at any time, at any pace, and above from any device by watching any of our videos from Telecom Academy. And this is how we define real convenience. Until we meet again, if you haven't subscribed, guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You may also like any of our videos, share, or even comment.